Well, greetings. I think this is my first stream of the year, isn't it? Could be. I'm not going to say much until more people show up and I make sure that I have good sound. Basically, just at my desk, winding down MLK Day 2020. I did a lot of writing today. Inside in the morning yet, and I'll be calling the police soon to find out what the result of their wellness check was. So let's see, do we have, oh, we got sound? So let's see, do we have? Yay. Yay, we have sound. Anybody here? 3 folks here. Hi. I'm not the one that's going to suicide. I'm okay. I'm fine, thanks. Things are, my life is moving real well. Since Christmas, I've been anti-Tommy. People need to know what I know. People are wanting to know what I know. When I say, the idiots think that I'm like coming on to all the trans teens, the queer teens, and I'm totally not. I'm aligned with other older, we're the love all hate none crowd. Always have been. I just was part of that with the hippies until I came out. We're the rainbow people. We're all colors, all creeds, all sexes, all genders, and it's about peace, love, unity, and respect. There's no reason for anybody to condemn another that's not harming anybody. And even though your perception of their reality is one of self-harm, it's not your business. Deicide, the killing of God. Been a lot of that. Lots of Christians that ain't Christian, and lots of atheists that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So hi, Frederick. Thanks for coming. It was a rough day. I should read some of what I've been writing for the last few days. Let me see where to pick it up. I've been busy and the rest of the day, and I didn't do that. This is so sad. I should call. That's what I should do right now. I know what the fuck happened. This woman ate a bottle of trazodone, and hardly anybody responded to her or to my prayer call for her. And we had 38 mutual friends, and they were, I consider myself on the second tier of the global advocacy and local organizing network. I'm not one of the leaders. I'm one of the hubs. I'm a commentator, and telling my story and sharing as much as I can from everywhere else is what I do. And most of my friends that we're mutual friends with are similar to me in their niche in the community. And here's this sister in bumfuck Missouri, Marceline, Missouri, where the fuck that is, I don't even know. Alone. can't take what's going on in her head. She's been talking about it for a couple of days, and tonight she ate a bottle of tramadol and went silent. I've got to call the cops and find out how the wellness check went. Because nobody else seems to care about her. Idiots think I'm going to die poor and alone, and that's not happening. Hi, Jennifer. My name's Tommy Wasserberg. I'm calling from Tucson. I called a few hours ago requesting a wellness check for Tina Louise Goolsby in Marceline.
Yes.
Can I get some like update
you
on?
Want to get some more information about it, an update about it?
Yes,
okay.
please.
I can't give you that information, but if you can give me your phone number, I can have an officer call you back.
Would you please?
I can do that.
Yeah, you know, I represent the whole community, and we have a lot of mutual friends that are wondering. It's 520-241-2776.
Okay. I will pass the information on and have an officer call you back. It may be a little bit, but they will get back to you.
Okay, thank you. Happy day.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. This morning, I woke up to a video of a Palestinian transgender woman. And my friend who had shared it was unaware that the reason this video got like bumped up yesterday was because she had killed herself. She was terrorized and bullied to death. She killed herself. I'm not sure how she did it yet. This was a Palestinian woman in occupied Palestine. I don't seem to have much interest tonight, which is okay. I don't care. I really don't care. People come along later and read my stuff. That's an interesting story tonight. Singer-songwriter David Olney dies on stage during performance at Florida Festival. I went and looked up all the people that died on stage, and there's a lot of interesting characters. A few things that I remembered, like Vic Morrow getting in the helicopter crash on set. But this one I didn't know. Red Fox had a fatal heart attack on the set, and when his castmates thought he was faking it, when he grabbed a chair and fell over, and they thought he was doing his act, and he wasn't. He was dying. But this guy, David Olney, I never heard of him. I really need to play some of his stuff. And I probably should. I could probably get away with playing something of his because there's not going to be the BMI bots all over it. Oh my God. It's got his last performance up here, I think. Oh, good Lord. Is this him falling over? You know, it's the most interesting death on stage. No, it's...
Should I introduce the songs?
Yeah, just do whatever normally.
It said he was singing with somebody when it happened, and he's alone in this.
Yeah.
And then just do your thing.
He's having trouble.
Songs that you want to talk about, that's cool.
Okay. Okay.
He just like stopped playing and said, "I'm sorry," and never dropped his guitar, never fell off the stool, just
Such a small man.
died.
Although the guy on the couch was a champ. You ready, David?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to Acoustic Interlude. I'm John McDonnell, and for this segment, we're broadcasting from the 30A Songwriters Festival. Look who we found, an old buddy. Haven't seen him in a few years. Here's David Olney.
This
There's a
isn't
song,
this isn't the song he
friend of
died
mine,
on.
Jack Murray from up in Pennsylvania. I don't need another heaven. Found one in this world. Found one in this world. Found one in this world. I don't need another heaven. I found one in this world. In the eyes of my blue bonnet girl. For, and I don't need another. Every color in the rainbow, every ring around the moon, every ring around the moon, every ring around the moon. And I don't need another heaven. I found one in this world, in the eyes of my blue bonnet girl.
That's some nice stuff.
When the roll is called up yonder, I don't want to go. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go, 'cause I don't need another heaven. I found one in this world, in the eyes of my blue bonnet girl. In the eyes of my blue bonnet girl. All right, I love that song. It's so, towns used to be able to write songs like that. They're so simple, and the simplicity is what makes them.
First of all, thanks a lot for coming back, man. It's been great seeing you again.
Yes, great to see
Okay,
you,
that
and
was
thank you for playing this kind of music. These stations are kind of the lifeline now.
They're
Thank
getting
you.
rare, I know.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
So anyway, life and death in the fast lane. My life's been pretty good. Getting ready for the gem show. Worked yesterday. Took the day off because I had some stuff to do here. Polish some more stone. And we'll work together tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be able to keep working. We haven't checked with the promoter yet to see if they're gonna. He's either gonna let me go. He's either gonna let me work, or me and Mario are suing him together. It cost Mario a fortune not to have me. I'd written at least $20,000 worth of business for him last year when they threw me out. Oh yeah, that's one thing I was doing is I need to edit that and repost it. Here it is. I guess I can do that. Edit that out, share it, and then edit it back in, right? It'll work. Okay, yeah, that works. Nobody here. Hardly anybody here. Hello. I'm just at my desk. I haven't messed with the trolls in since Christmas hardly even looked at their site. I do need to take a look and see what's going on, make sure that Opie and Anthony. Okay, well they're still stalking. Hello.
Tommy,
Yes, please.
this is Officer Devlin with the Marceline Police Department.
Hi.
I got a phone call that you called.
Yes, I did.
Okay, what would you like to know?
Well, I requested a wellness check on somebody who said she was eating a bottle of Tramadol on Facebook.
Yeah, all that I can inform you is that she went to the hospital.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. That I appreciate that.
Alrighty.
All right, so she's not she's not, she didn't kill herself, and she's getting proper care. I didn't think she was going to be able to with Tramadol. Thank you.
No. She would have just been. She didn't have enough to anyway.
Oh, it's you probably got it's hard with something like that. You have to eat a lot of it.
Right.
Do you know? I'm a community advocate, and one of the things I do is like make sure that people like her get connected to proper health care and community resources.
Yep, that's pretty much what we do too. So
Right.
she'll be taken care of.
Right. Do you know offhand if there's any LGBT advocacy in your area?
I would absolutely positively have no idea.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
Happy day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, I shared that. I didn't even know. I didn't even get a chance to look at it. 2 dead, 5 injured, and shooting at music venue along a San Antonio Riverwalk. I don't even know what the fuck happened there. I was so busy when it happened. He's still stalking. Let's see if he's on the. Unbelievable. They want to say I have COPD and club fingers, and I don't. I have chronic respiratory issues, upper respiratory issues, due to dust, pollen, and smoke allergies. And if you notice, I haven't been coughing much. I haven't been smoking much either. I quit smoking on New Year's Day, but more like I've been keeping it under 5 cigarettes a day since then, and it's helped. It's helped my throat. What they're calling COPD isn't past here. It's all between where my nose, where my sinuses hit my throat, to where the bronchi split off from the trachea. My anatomy class is 40 years old. The split here, where the air right there. The boogers roll down from my nose to my right there, and then I have to cough it back up because my lungs don't want that shit in there. And the club fingers is bullshit. These fingers are not clubbed. I have had chronic issues with dried, cracked skin around the cuticles, but that's also, and eczema and shit like that. But that's not club fingers. I only have one right now, this one. Everything else is in pretty good shape. So, in case anybody's like interested, I'm on the idiot sites right now and will be for a while. Fucking idiots. And chopped just really strange looking fingernails, fingertips. Shit. I hope I haven't changed what's on the clipboard yet. I forgot to edit it back in. Good. Okie dokie. Anybody saying anything? No. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna read this shit. They're just assholes. See if there's, I might talk about it a little bit. Here's one saying, yeah, I'll read this shit. I've watched some of Tommy's vids, and correct me if I'm out of line, but when I watch the vids, I get the vibe of a masculine spirit coming through the screen. I know Tommy has repeated on more than a dozen occasions his female spirit, and people see him as female, but I don't see it. Well, you're a sexist pig, and I just don't, match up to your standards of femininity in terms of looks, submission to masculine bullshit. I'm a butch female. People are cool with that. Tommy, you are very aggressive, argumentative, and lack some softer personality traits, usually associated with a female spirit. Honestly, I try to give all your bids the benefit of the doubt, but every time I watch a bid, I do not see a female spirit. You truly do exude a strong male personality and spirit. Okay. No, I don't claim to be a woman. I claim to be female, feminine. My biological sex is male, but everything else about me is female. Always has been. This is not something I just decided to do. It's something I've been plotting all my life. And yeah, I've been praying real hard for proper healing by the ascended ancestors. All my life. And, no, I never ran my voice back up high enough so I could be taken for a female easily on my voice. And I haven't worked on my body enough to get the right shape back to it. Never really had the right shape. My butt never developed, I think, because I walked pigeon-toed to get the swish out of my hips. But my fat tissue always, my physique was always much more feminine than masculine, and I had to pretend. I had to pretend to be male. That's why I don't like going there. That's why I get so enraged. It's like, you're knocking me off my bliss point, and please don't make me hurt you to get rid of you. And nobody's been able to do that to me since I started hormones. And it's I just, nobody's been able to get me there since then. And yesterday was Avery Jackson's transversary, and Oh, this is sad. So anyway, it was Avery Jackson's transversary, and her mama was bragging about it for MLK Day, because this is her baby's trans birthday. And here comes a trans man. I didn't realize that they were trans man. I should have from the name. But come along saying she had to live 47 years as someone she wasn't. And I came back told her it was nearly 60 for me. And we've had a little bit of conversation. I haven't checked. Do they have this video yet? Anybody talking about this video? I'm really just looking to make sure they don't have any special plans for next week. Then Sundance came and went. I don't see anybody talking about any fucking documentary. Thyroid problem now. It's a fucking Dr. Freud. It's Dr. Freud. Unbelievable. Patrick Kelly, you're a coward. I'm gonna get you face to face. And you're not gonna be happy when it's over. Pray. What can I say? It's always loud. I don't know. Hi, Shelly. I don't recall seeing you before. I talk more than type. I just really don't want to be typing it. A man goes to the Women's March. So this is my stalker. Oh, it's on. No, that's stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. More stupid, more stupid. Let's see what this Stanford thing. What's this? That's interesting. Gosh, Mortal Wombat. I wonder if Stanford's gonna how Stanford's gonna feel about some of the shit you posted. Okay, so that's all stupid. Let's see what I can't see. Okay, that's all stupid. Not worth looking at. No, it's not. It's a joint. It's marijuana. No blunt. It's in a paper. Openly being planned there. Let's see what's going on at kiwi farms. There's only a few people like really dedicated to following me. What the fuck is this? Okay, nobody said anything on the main thread since Friday. Okay, well, there's some idiots watching this. Oh, I'm looking more sickly and greasy haired than usual. What that's not greasy hair. Actually, that's a mousse that I haven't brushed out yet. My hair is very clean. Is there haze in my videos? Oh well. Let's see what else is there's nothing going on. Good. They're mostly losing interest. Well, nothing worth looking at there either. I do smoke pipes sometimes. So I've been smoking joints since 1966. My marijuana cigarettes. It's cheap too here. It's only like 35 bucks for a half ounce. That's what I pay. I should go brush my hair out because they thought that my hair is looking greasy, but it's really there's I should go brush it out. It'll look really good, and I get my dirty beanie. I got a brand new beanie, and I've already even washed it once. I'm not letting it get dirty. My beanies get dirty because I use them to hold the garbage can lids up. You know, I poke around inside them. Okay. I guess I did overdo it a little bit. This is the stuff I use. It's hello, there it is. Shea butter and argan oil. Right on. I have a pipe. I have pillar pipe too. I have a big ass bong, but I don't use that. It's just it's too much. Okay, I got a pipe too. Little pipe. This is what $35 buys. It's solid three finger bag of nicely manicured buds and mostly Sensimilla. It's nice buds. So back to back to Facebook, see what's going on. Well, here's somebody commenting. Oh, I need to. This is just so sad. This is what I woke up to this morning. Maya Haddad, a beautiful Palestinian trans woman, and this isn't what I woke up to. This is what my friend found. You know, she didn't know that this woman was dead. When she shared it, but she shared it after we found out. She shared this video that a friend of hers had shared, and it's all in Hebrew. And it's about when she came back to her hometown, Tabi, after many years. Her mother still rejects her, like all her neighbors. She was severely attacked, but the perpetrator was never charged. She participated in the Trans Women International contest, but didn't win. And when I went and watched the video, there were, I translated one Hebrew comment. There were a bunch of, I didn't know she was dead yet until I translated a comment in Arabic from her friend who wrote that Maya was killed today. May God have mercy on her soul and make her all lifted up and make her all peace. And I respond, this beautiful spirit was bullied and terrorized. And no, I didn't respond to him that way. Actually, it's she's listed as a him at Facebook, but she presents as female looking. What exactly that means, you have to ask the individual. Okay. That's where it's such a minefield out there. I'm an intersex transgender person. Okay. I'm a woman with a penis. I'm kind of butch because I had to live as a man all my life. And I didn't really, this is how I have always been all my life. I was never allowed to be as feminine as I'd like to be. And this was as feminine as I was pretty much allowed to be growing up. And here I am. So anyway, but I don't have to be self-conscious about it anymore. This is really nice. And I could show off my girly parts. And I'm bad at 65, I'm not sick at all. I have chronic upper respiratory issues that aren't really that bad. I don't cough that much. I get a mucus ball build up in my throat, cough it up. It's healthy. I just do it too much because I got bad allergies. My heart and lungs and intestines and stomach and everything, liver and all, it works real good. I owe it to slacking in marijuana. I never gave. I was faced with a choice of like hating myself and hating everybody else because of it, or just like accepting what I was born with and dealing with it until the Creator came and took care of it for me. So here I am, and I'm really happy to be here now. I moved this part of it, and I prefer if you didn't call me dude, please. I get real like itchy when people refer to me as in male identifiers, and I don't go for that. Dude is neutral stuff. I just prefer not to be dude. I'm Tommy. You know, I understand that I just don't fit people's stereotypes of femininity, and you know, if you can't accept me as a female person, that's on you, not me. You know, and yeah, I get a little fussy about labels. It's just the way it is in the 21st century, you know. You know, it's like people like to be able to define themselves and then have people respect the definition. And you know, I'm copying the fact that I'm biologically male, but my gender is biologically female, and I have medical authorities to back it up, and hundreds of friends and followers, and thanks for coming. And I'm glad it's only hundreds. You know, I don't know if I can handle like the thousands and millions shit. I've always played better to a small room. Some people are like that, younger people, but you know, I had to live as you know, as a male for so long that it just anything like that just and you know, I put up with it usually without saying anything, but this is kind of my stream. And you're new and it's cool. So what's your trip besides you're a 420 head? I think I want to roll another hooter. I buy half ounce at a time, and smoke it in mostly in joints. Sometimes I'll load the pipe, and then I get down to the roaches, and right about when it's like I'm getting ready to run out, that's when I'll get my guy to come over and deliver some. But a friend of mine was over today, and she wanted something, and I really wasn't needing anything until the day after tomorrow. So now I got extra roaches. I got lots of roaches to unroll. But I don't think I'm going to do that, because one of the things I do, in case I can't get a hold of dude or he can't get a hold of anything, is I keep an emergency stash bag where I dump all the leftovers from the last bag into another bag to clean the tray to get it ready for the new bag. I've had stone pipes I like a lot that I smoked more than joints. But other than those, I can't really recall any that I'd prefer to use a pipe than smoke a joint. Most of the time, I use the pipe when I'm rationing, or if it's something that's just like too dank and won't smoke well in a hooter. You know, you get it. You can't get it lit for a joint. So one of the things I was planning on doing tonight, and I probably should because it needs, you know, I was scrolling my page. Oy vey. I quit. Oh, that's what I gotta. Here, I'll get the keyboard. Further away. I have to make an announcement. Oh. Is the typing still too loud? Yeah, it's not a real interesting one tonight. I overdid this stuff. It's too greasy. I used an extra big gob this time. I have this fantasy that one day I can take the hat off. So you know I can if I don't, you know it's not that bad in the front. So as I do turn my head, it's I won't wear a wig. I should wear, I don't know. I'd like to find a decent top piece, but I haven't been able to. That's the main reason I don't really, well, It's just too hot here. It's women dress very casually here most of the time, and don't wear a lot of makeup because it's just too hot and dusty. Oh boy. Uh-huh. Huh. Well, I wanted to read my MLK Day message. Several of them. Here's one. This Ryan Anderson, PhD, and this is in political philosophy. Is what his PhD is in, and he's a right-wing Christian who's like heavily off into the right-wing think tanks and edits shit like that. And I had the thing open. I was gonna. Oh, here it is. There's Ryan T. Anderson. This guy's a real piece of work. Ryan T. Anderson is founder and editor-in-chief of Public Discourse. He's also the William E. Simon Senior Research Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, which has been like enacting dominionist, lobbying for dominionist laws for the last 50 years or something like that. He's the author of When Harry Became Sally, Responding to the Transgender Moment, and Truth Overruled, The Future of Marriage and Religious Freedom. He is the co-author of What is Marriage, Man and Woman, A Defense, and Debating Religious Liberty and Discrimination, and co-editor of A Liberalism for Safe Catholicism, Perspectives from the Review of Politics. His dissertation, natural law according to a Catholic. Neither liberal nor libertarian, a natural law approach to social justice and economic rights. You know, I don't want to offend any Catholics. I just better not even. Oh no. Oh, oh no. No, I don't do it with one hand. I do it two-handed. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me, you want me to, I'll do it with a cigarette for you. I'll show you. I'll do it on camera. I'll show you. There's a secret to it. It also helps. You know, I've been rolling joints and cigarettes for 50 years. I even have enough tobacco here to roll another cigarette. Yeah, I do. You wanna take like the bottom fourth of the paper and make a little pocket for what you're going to put in there. You also got to make sure your weed's well ground up. You can't be putting chunks of it in there. That won't work. Okay, so the magic of all of the things that set people apart from animals is right here between your thumb and forefinger. This is what sets us apart from everything else is our opposable thumbs and the dexterity of our hands. And what you do is you stick your forefinger in that little slot on the one side and your other forefinger in the little slot on the other side, and you get it set like that, and then you put them over the whole thing, get that all tamped down. Now with your thumbs, bring it together, and with your four fingers on the back side and your thumb on the front, now you're rolling it up and getting it all into the roll, and then you fold that over and roll it up and lick it, and it's done. That's kind of a thin one. But I wanted to read my crap. So anyway, this was Ryan Anderson wrote a new essay, co-authored with Robert P. George. Prudent legislation is needed to prevent adults from interfering with a child's normal, natural bodily development. Fuck you, say, motherfucker. Gender affirmation procedures violate sound medical ethics. It is profoundly unethical to intervene in the normal physical development of a child as part of affirming a gender identity at odds with bodily sex. While puberty-blocking drugs may be an appropriate treatment for precocious puberty, the early onset of puberty, in order to delay puberty of biologically appropriate age, that is not what is going on here. The use of puberty blockers to delay or permanently block natural biological puberty is unethical and violates the rights of children to biological integrity. On what grounds, motherfucker? Have you looked at the results? Administering cross-sex hormones to minors in an attempt to make their bodies cosmetically resemble those of the opposite sex or of their preferred gender identity is likewise a violation of sound ethical norms and the rights of minors. Surgically removing genitals or secondary characteristics is an effort to affirm a gender identity, as done to those 13-year-old girls. I don't know about any 13-year-old girls who underwent double mastectomies, and taxpayer-funded research is particularly heinous. Governments should prohibit this misuse of medical technology and protect children from these harms. When the fact of the matter is by the time any minor gets anywhere near any kind of medical intervention, it's the medical necessity has been clearly demonstrated. And on the backside, it's been clearly demonstrated that when you allow a transgender person to express themselves in their natural biological gender role, gender identity is something that's hardwired into you. Yeah, it's mostly built on cultural, concept that you've learned, but it's like, it's like your memory spool is set for male or female, or, some variation in between is, where it's at. And it's not hardwired to sex. You're not automatically male if you have male sex organs. The only thing binary about the human sexuality is what kind of gamete your gonads make. There's, the ideal man and the ideal woman. So that's a small percentage of the population. This tiny percentage, the fashion models and that kind of stuff, and the bodybuilder kind of look at. That's, the ideals are very few. It's easy to see me as male or female. Just blink and you see a male or a female, and I understand that because I see it in me. I'm much more comfortable as a female, and people like me better as a female. I like me better as a female, and that's the way it is. And most people respect that, and I appreciate that a whole lot. And I appreciate the thanks that I get for sharing my knowledge and experience with people that want to know about these things. I have about 1,200 members in 3 groups, maybe 1,500. Well, I have a couple of small groups, but 2 bigger ones with about 600 members apiece in them, and then a couple of smaller ones. And I just crossed 600 friends. I'm not sure if I have more followers than friends yet or not. That's what really shows is how many followers you got. No, I just crossed 500 friends. Where does it say followers? I really should take a look at my followers and make sure I'm not getting stalked by anybody that I recognize. Where is followers? It's interesting to see how it lays your friends out for you. Definitely, the first bunch, these are people I interact with all the time, several times a week. There's the first dead one. He died the first of the year in his wife's arms. There's his daughter. Yeah, these, just all so far, these are people that I interact with regularly. And at least a fourth of them are people that I actually know in person. And I I see so little of the bullshit unless I go looking for it in a group or something, or on a major page. Where volatile media page where they get into that kind of shit. My friends and their friends, the caliber of the conversation is always upbeat. There's rarely any like really rudeness. There'll be some, gentle insults, but none of the like really getting down and dirty shit that you see on the news. Yeah, grinding is you can't do it with chunks. You cannot do it with chunks. No ma'am or no sir. You're a sir. Yeah. So it's hard to tell. So I know female Shelleys and male Shelleys. One of my first bullies was a Shelley. Male Shelley. He was a friend of my brother's. I really wanted to read that thing and probably should go to bed because soon. Never did get down to it. Oh, this was the thing I wanted to read about. Oh, I was reading Ryan Anderson. That's right. Government should get the fuck out of the way. These people, the children are being benefited by it. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Besides being Catholic Dominionists. Yeah, it's so hard to be, Catholic, and accept the colonialism and the pedophilia as being okay. I have Christian friends that are having real problems with, some of the directed hate because it's just totally contrary to the teachings of Jesus. And the same thing with Jews. I won't. I don't have it. I don't know. I totally don't get along with Zionist Jews. Period. No. If you want to make excuses for Israel, you're not talking to the right person. And that's just where it is. I have a friend request from a transgender Israeli. Where'd it go? There it is. We have 14 mutual friends. Who are they? Some people I know fairly well. Well, shit, I can't send her a message. But I can I can always accept the friend request and then just like block her if it turns out to be a problem. It's a little bit like I don't know. See, I don't relate real well to the cross-dressing community. Because I'm not. This is me. No. I'm not. This is me. So I'm totally supportive of everybody's expression. As long as, you're not harming anybody, whatever makes you happy makes me happy. If I can't handle it, I'm not going to let you know. I'm going to be nice about it and just, well, you know, not. So I don't know how to say it. I've been in crowds where there's lots of people I just really don't care for at all, and they don't know it for years and years and years. Because I'm nice to them, I just don't like listen to their shit very much. No, I'm cordial. You know, I just don't let them get any closer. That's what it is. So they don't know that I don't like them because I don't tell them. I just like don't let them in very close. We'll accept it. We'll see what's on her mind. But I can't send her a little bit too much posing without a headshot for my taste, which is why I'm concerned about it. I don't see, and she might be closeted too. I don't know. A little bit too much cross-dressing for my taste. Whole lot too much cross-dressing for my taste here. But see, I kind of accept everybody. And as long as they're cool and aren't like putting their sexuality in everybody else's face, whatever, it's good with me. You know, sex work is real work. I have dear friends who sell their ass. Actually, they usually sell blowjobs and handjobs. They don't sell their ass. I'd do it. I'd be glad to do it. You know, I've set my prices too high though. I always did. That's how I got rid of guys that were hitting on me. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll suck your dick for $500. I wouldn't do it for less than 100. I'd like to get 100 just for jerking a guy off. I'd probably do that. Go to the casino, hang out in a casino. I bet I could get hand jobs for $100 under the table all day long. $1,000 for taking somebody up to a room and sucking his dick. Sure of it. I'm sure of it. I know I could do it. I know I could like find a younger girl that could do it real easy. And go to jail for doing it. Lucky me. That's why I don't like going to jail. So I don't do anything they can send me to jail for very long. You know, I've been breaking marijuana laws all over the country. And I do things in places people don't get arrested for that shit a lot too. Yeah, so the King Day was hot and heavy today. You know, King Day was very hot and heavy. Lots of posts about Dr. King, his quotes, and Bayard Rustin. You know, I every year since I learned about it, I've been talking about how Bayard Rustin was really more of the driving force, the original driving force, and he was the one who set King on his course. But Bayard Rustin had been at it since the 1940s, and pretty much it was his nonviolence and organization that that set King on his path with the Southern Christian Leadership Council. I don't even want to, you know, fucking Mike Pence compared. I haven't read this. This has got to be totally ridiculous. Pence, in his King Day address, let's see what this douchebag said. The stupid it burns. This is by Michael Stone at pathos.com. Firing us with border wall. The stupid it burns. Vice President Mike Pence says President host Margaret Brennan that Donald Trump was well, we'll leave that for a minute. Real the promises of democracy to make the case that Trump is like Martin Luther King Jr. In a convoluted response to a question about the lack of support for Trump's wall, Pence said, "But I think what the American people's border and the humanitarian security crisis, what humanitarian security crisis? And the government shutdown, but also to bring together, and the government shutdown is right on Mitch McConnell's desk, dude, but also to bring together the Democrats' priorities to accomplish that. That's what the American people expect us to do." And honestly, the hearts and minds about it being a weekend where we remember the life and work of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But one of my favorite quotes from Dr. King was, "Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy." You think of how he changed America. He inspired us to change through the legislative process to becoming a more perfect union. That's exactly what President Trump is calling on Congress to do. Come to the table in the spirit of good faith. We'll secure our border. We'll reopen our government. We'll move our nation forward, as the president said yesterday, to even a broader discussion about immigration reform in the months ahead. Bottom line, Mike Pence abuses the memory of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the hopes of building a monument to racism in the form of Trump's border wall. Okay. Never mind. I'm not even going to respond to that. See what else you got to say. No, where's the piece I wanted to read? Okay, there's one of them, but that was the second one. Where's the main one? That's right, I'd written it before midnight last night. I'm surprised they didn't get hold of that.
Man, you should have seen me way back then. I could tell a tale, I could make it spin. I could tell you black was white, I could tell you day was night. Back then, I could really tell a lie. I'd hire a kid to say that he was.
Let's get rid of that. This I tagged hippie historian MLK Day 2020, Transform America Vision 2020. A shit ton of older trans people came out between 29 and 2019 because we were seeing excuse me, I just had something come up in my face. Yeah, this isn't the phone. the business desktop. All sorts of shit will happen. I'll be like in one window, and then something else will jump up and say, "Hey, you got to take care of this." So anyway, we were seeing kids transitioning with their parents' support. To me, it became obvious that it was safe, and I was being stupid for not doing it. Even post ops who had been in stealth for decades came out to join what looked like we were going into the top of the ninth inning with a hefty lead. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. Hello. I have to wait for the rest of it to load now. Come on. I have too much shit open, so it's taking a while. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to kill this pretty soon. I'm going to read this and the other one just to make sure they sound good, see if there's any more mistakes in them. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. The armed and inbred idiots made H.L. Mencken's nightmare come true on November 8, 2016. About 100 years ago, Mencken wrote, "As democracy is perfected," and for those of you who don't know, he was a columnist in Baltimore in the early 20th century. "As democracy is perfected, the office of the president represents more and more closely the inner soul of the people. We move toward a lofty ideal. On some great and glorious day, the plain folks of the land will reach their heart's desire at last, and the White House will be adorned by a downright moron. We're still winning, though. This latest batch of proposed laws are just too insane to go anywhere. They have nothing but nonsense to argue with, and we have all the medical authorities, most of the church unions, a mountain of legal precedent, and a solid majority with the general public. Most straight people are disinterested in the whole debate, and of the ones who are invested in it, we have a lot more allies than enemies. I've lived my life by the principle of the rainbow hippies: to love all, hate none, and peace, love, and unity. Peace, love, unity, and respect. And to live life loving living. My upbringing was very secular but omnist, with a focus on what was true and enduring in ancient scriptures of all people. This short passage from Leviticus tells how the Lord wants us to treat ourselves and others. It always seems so simple to me, and I just don't understand how people can be so cruel and casual about it, when I feel bad acting the way they do toward other people. I guess conscience comes with compassion, which comes from having your moral compass properly calibrated. And, I don't thump a lot of Bible, but there are certain passages, things that are true and enduring. And this is like right here is a pretty good summary of how God wants us to treat ourselves and each other. And it says in Leviticus 19, starting at verse 10, "And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather the fallen fruit of thy vineyard, for thou shalt leave them for the poor and for the stranger, because I am the Lord your God. You shall not steal, neither shall you deal falsely, nor lie to one another. And you will not swear by my name falsely, so that thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not oppress thy neighbor, nor rob him. The wages of a hired servant shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind. But thou shalt fear thy God, because I am the Lord. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou wilt not respect. You will not. I don't understand. This doesn't sound right to me. Maybe it's a bad translation. I don't know. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor favor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people, neither shalt thou stand idly by the blood of your neighbor. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt surely rebuke thy neighbor, and not bear sin because of him. Thou shalt not take vengeance, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but you will love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord." And I can't tell you all how much I appreciate the caliber of conversation and the courage of convictions I see every day in my newsfeed from my friends. Stay loud, stay proud, and please shower my 66th birthday with shredded red Republicans littering polls all over the USA. Dump Trump, ditch Mitch, make America sane again. Equality now, trans rights are human rights, won't be erased. Protect trans kids, won't go back. And that's really the bottom line is we have families. Our parents are standing in front of these children. There's just parents taking it, getting death threats for just loving their kids the way their kids are asking to be loved. And they're calling themselves Christian. Scary time. Well, Leviticus is Leviticus. This particular passage is one that is totally right on. I don't know if anybody can come up with any arguments about anything wrong with that passage. This is the moral code that the devout live by, and that's Hebrew. It's not, it's common to Christians, Jews, and Muslims. The militant nationalism is contrary to the core principles of faith. There are some spots that are kind of questionable along those lines. Yes, I know. But these are things that were directed directly at the Jews. Yeah, well, 1923 is one of those passages. Well, let's look at it. There was a reason I cut that off where I did, because that particular section is all about righteousness. And it says clearly you're not supposed to take vengeful acts. I don't remember exactly what was there, but I do know that it's right at 1920 is the problem. Whoops. Wrong one. Let's go back to the home page. Let's try this again. Oh, that's what I did. Yeah, let's see. At 19, it starts getting off into where's 23 is the one you're talking about. No, that's not right. What's the one you're wanting? I don't think you have the right passage. 1923 says, "And when ye shall come into the land, and shall have planted all manner of trees for food, then ye shall count the fruit thereof as forbidden. 3 years shall it be as forbidden to you, and it shall not be eaten. And in the 4th year, all the fruit thereof shall be holy, for giving praise unto the Lord. But in the 5th year may eat the fruit thereof." And that, it's all about planting trees and eating the fruit. From there, I'm not sure. I think you got the wrong chapter. But I know that there are some spots that give some questionable instruction. And as I understand it, most of those were very specifically directed at the Jews, and most of the interpretations of that instruction by Christian theologians are at odds with the standard Hebrew commentary on the passage. But I can't be any more specific than that right now without having a specific passage to go and find the discussion about it. Here's one where it says, yeah, I don't know. Basically, the Torah law 2319. Yeah, figure out which one it is. There's quite. I think 2218 is one of the problematic ones. But no, I'm well aware. The way I was taught, I was educated by a Reform rabbi who said that the early stories can't be taken literally because they had been in the oral tradition for too long before they were written down to be able to have any confidence in their the accuracy of the narrative. And that a lot of the things that talk about killing are very specific instances that have no relevance in the here and now. You find that. Let me see what I want to go back. I want to go read this other one. So is the other one that here was the other piece I wrote today. And this one's tagged Hippie Historian MLK Day 2020, Transform America Vision 2020, Transformation Party USA, Make America Sane Again, and Living Trans. As addressed, Dear LGB Alliance, T stands alone, folks, assorted queerlessly questioning queers, and simpering psychopathic straight people. How about fuck a bunch of alphabet soup already? Unify or die, bitches. United we stand a chance. With all the lateral hostility across the spectrum and relational bullying under the transgender umbrella, the community is too fragmented to generate any political clout to defeat hate legislation or get protective legislation enacted. Organization and creative nonviolent civil disobedience are the legacy of Bayard Russon's Freedom Rides and his protege Martin Luther King's Poor People's Marches. This is where Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera took it after Stonewall, and it's a tradition we most urgently need to carry forward today. My friend Cora Tor Duncan is wanting to see more stories about above average transgender women, and I've been giving a lot of thought lately to why people love me or hate me so intensely, but few can really connect in true friendship, and I've never come anywhere near finding a lifetime mate. My parents were negative role models for me, representing what I didn't want to be like. As I've said repeatedly, I never denied myself and played along as best I could, which wasn't very good because I was extremely reactive and impossible to redirect without violence, right up until I started HRT 4.5 years ago. I was known to the Deadheads and Rainbow family people as Crazy Tommy, but because I didn't care if you were twice my size, armed, or wearing a badge. I didn't take any shit, and for 25 years, I traveled with hounds that tolerated even less shit. We quelled a lot of potentially violent scenes on our own, and we're part of the team that provided security at festivals and gatherings. I found my comfort studying the arts and sciences, devouring 3 encyclopedias, a dictionary, atlas, tons of classic sci-fi, crime thriller novels, and lots of nonfiction and history, biography, and editorial opinion by the time I got to high school. In our home, we read both the Chicago Tribune and Chicago Sun-Times, as well as numerous magazines. I was blessed with very comprehensive religious and secular education, with numerous outstanding teachers along the road to a BS in marine biology. The conclusion I've come to about why people react to me so intensely is that I'm shamelessly honest, brutally frank, rarely mistaken, take correction well, and I back my opinions with facts. I've learned to be patient and kind, correcting sincerely ignorant people, and to coldly truth bomb the willfully stupid and walk away. These qualities have attracted both people with similar behavioral traits who really enriched my life, and a few dozen dedicated haters being paid to stir up the general public against me. And for both, I'm actually pretty grateful. The agitprop specialists tend to sort my audience for me, and though the intrusions into my life have been costly, the benefits I've gained from the exposure in terms of cool people attracted to me and sharpening my writing skills far outweigh the losses and aggravation. But enough of that. In the holy here and now, we need to throw more parties. An organization the size of Southern Arizona Gender Alliance should be able to hold a monthly event like the Thanksgiving and 4th of July outings and have something more than sitting around in a circle jibber-jabbering on a weekly basis. When I was on the road in the 90s, the hemp activists had all kinds of events that raised money and awareness about all sorts of issues besides the marijuana prohibition, from evening and weekend events in homes and hospitality venues to big festivals in the parks or on farms. One year we had the Hemp Fest in Holt Sorter's Field. There was almost zero openly LGBTQ presence at the Women's March Saturday. Few people flew any trans colors at all, and there weren't any rainbows either. The only other openly trans people I saw were 2 militant hard BDSM devotees in their 30s, and one of whom I have blocked here. It was mainly old straight white couples out for a stroll on Saturday morning, with the usual array of privileged white bread with mayo running the show. There was a somewhat turfy, cishet, female-dominant feel to it, in the shift in colors and erasure from the slogans of not just trans rights, but gay rights as well. This was about cishet women demanding that men get the fuck out of their wombs without an invitation and getting equal pay for equal labor. Intersectionality is the key word of the resistance to the advancing industrial fascism gripping our society. And all of our protests must be peaceful and prayerful if our society is going to remain intact and grow from this moment. The main reason that Dr. King was assassinated was that he was bringing the underclasses of all races together and challenging the morality of the Vietnam War. I believe that it's primarily due to the practice of nonviolent civil disobedience that the social order in the United States has not broken down. The outcome of the gun rally in Richmond is a good sign that despite the bloviating buffoon in the White House, that America's on the right track. As of an hour ago, and this was 12 hours ago, so it was around noon, my time, it was announced that Capitol grounds were reported to have been cleared and no arrests were made. Everybody's valid as long as we don't impose our will on others without their consent, even Christian cishet gun owners who respect the rule of law. Oh, 1822, that one. That, you know, I if this is the one I think it is, yeah, that one. That is specifically aimed at the Jews, and it's just saying that it's something God doesn't want the Jews doing. It also just says it's an abomination. That doesn't mean you're supposed to kill them for it. No. Homosexuality, same-sex attraction, and transgender ideation. So to have a transgender identity from your sex is something that modern medical science has demonstrated to have a genetic basis, and that there is nothing fundamentally pathological about either. Ancient Hebrew literature has over 1,500 mentions of 6 different genders. Most societies, most indigenous societies that are not expansionist, colonialist, imperialist societies, at least tolerate their queers. And in many, transgender people are usually elevated to positions of esteem within the community as priests and healers, entertainers, which is pretty much what we're doing here in America. You know, a lot of transgender entertainers that are, you know, doing some really good work, and a lot of transgender people in tech field are doing really good work. And there's some doctors and, you know, lawyers, all kinds. You know, we're all over. We're doing good work. We're good people. When we're allowed to be ourselves in an accepting and rewarding environment. All the mental issues, but you know, and that's where I'm going to wrap it up, as I'm getting a little hoarse. Okay. Well, part of it is that there's a problem with what I'm told. Where's this? There's 22, not a lot of beasts, blah blah. Not do foul not yourselves these things. All blah blah. Kill what I cast out from before you. The land was defiled, and the land vomited the land of that. Keep that and don't do that. Never neither no, not nope. Nope, nope. I don't see any stoning there. As my spirit guides are informing me, 10 or 12,000 years ago, there was an improper mating between a terrestrial human and a reptilian alien humanoid. And that's the Adam and even the snake story. And a lot of the killing and stoning and all that shit was cleaning the gene pool, you know, removing that corrupted gene. But we're in here now, and this is the end game. And if I'm right, you know, I have to give the disclaimer that I have no way of knowing if the thoughts that appear in my mind to speak along these lines are actually being transmitted to me by higher forms of intelligence, or if it's just that I have a very fertile imagination. I have no way of knowing. I'll know by the end of this year. I was promised that much, that there would be a definite, by the end of this year, there would be an appearance. If there's no appearance, then, hey, I just got a great imagination, man. What can I say? Yeah, this whole section of you know, this whole chapter, there's no stoning in it though. This is all about the sex rules. Yeah, but I don't see any stoning in this chapter. This is just all the stuff that they wanted. This was behavior stuff that they were looking for. You know, personal behavior, sex rules. And he's saying, talk to the children of Israel. It's not this for not for everybody. It's this for Israel. And I think that's I think that's where I'm going to leave it. It's a couple hours and I'm a little hoarse. Thanks for coming. Come again. Hope to see you soon. Happy day. Bye.